On this week's show is Atari under new ownership,
A new Castlevania title heads to Apple Arcade.
and we have a load of Pokemon news.
This is episode 36 of the Retro Gaming Dads podcast, the weekly podcast for everything retro and retro inspired. My name is Barry, and today it's just Phil, as once again, Anthony is off on holiday for the weekend.
Camping somewhere again, isn't he?
I don't think he's camping, I think he's actually visiting family.
Oh, is he? Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. It's been quite a busy week for retro and retro related news.
Yeah.
So we've got quite a few bits to go through, and I think probably start off with one of them is the future of this podcast.
Yes. So we've been talking a little bit about this, haven't we? We're
Yes.
looking at changing things up so we're not just another news podcast telling you the same thing as 100 other podcasts out there.
Yes. So what we've been talking about is currently we're a weekly podcast. We bring you the news, and that's about it, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Hopefully we bring it to you in a nicely packaged little podcast that you can listen to on your way to work. But we're looking to expand it a little bit further.
The other thing that we're going to do so that we can properly research and put together the podcasts to bring you the best information that we can, we're moving to a fortnightly release schedule as well.
Every 2 weeks, you'll get a podcast, which will be longer than the majority of our podcasts are at the moment. Because I think we vary wildly, don't we?
Oh,
I think
we
the
really do.
shortest is about 21 minutes, longest is about an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, we're going to be aiming for the 45 to an hour long mark per
Yes.
podcast, aren't we?
Yeah, so that's our plans for the podcast going forward. So with that out of the way, shall we go into a bit of what we've been playing this week?
Obviously, last week I was pretty poorly, so I've not really played a great deal. But I gave the Bouncer a try on PSO2.
The Bouncer. Brave.
No, Braver. I know what I meant.
I've played quite a bit of the Braver in New Genesis, and in fact, I got up to level 18 so far, so nearly hit the cap already.
I'm
It's
not sure how I
bad.
feel.
It's not the skill set I would have chosen.
Yeah, I don't think Bow Braver gives me what I enjoyed in the original Braver in PSO2.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel. I might have to give Katana Braver a try, see if that's any difference.
See, I'm the other way around. I tended to focus more on the katana, and this time I found that I've just been using the bow, because all I've been doing is just running circles around the enemies, firing my shots or doing the piercing arrow.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I did go on last night though, and I got a sequence showing a new emergency quest.
All right.
I haven't actually had the emergency quest yet, but looks like they've put a new emergency quest up.
Oh, fair enough.
So, other than New Genesis, managed to play anything else?
Not a great deal, to be honest.
I think recently I've been on a bit of a farming game binge. So I've been playing through Dragon Quest Builders 2, Stardew Valley. I've been playing far too much Stardew Valley. I've even got Kerry playing that at the moment. And I've just picked up Story Seasons, Friends in Mineral Town, I believe it's called.
Sounds like you're missing a key farming game there. Farming
No,
Simulator?
I'm not playing Farming Simulator.
I mean, the rest of them basically
wrong
are.
type of farming. Well, wrong type of game, I should say.
Too realistic.
Yeah.
I don't want realistic farming simulators in my farming games.
No. What, you mean that growing a pumpkin in 13 days isn't realistic? Actually, in all fairness, I don't know how long a pumpkin takes to grow in real life. It could be 13 days for all I know. Well, no. I've been playing them when I get a moment, just especially on the Switch. We've been playing Stardew Valley on the Xbox in split screen, which it is coming to Game Pass. So
Yep.
when that comes to Game Pass, I'll probably try and rope you and Anthony into having a few games on it.
I think Anthony will probably join you.
Yeah, Anthony will.
It wasn't really wasn't my kind of game.
He quite enjoyed it, but he just didn't want to pay for it.
Anthony in a nutshell.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we missed actually a bit last week because both me and Anthony weren't with you. So you had some big news, especially the Amiga 500 Mini.
Yeah, absolutely.
How good does that look?
It's a shame you weren't there for last week's, actually, because, well, you kind of had an Amiga 500, didn't you?
Yeah.
By proxy, your brother had one, and we played on it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by playing on it, I pretty much mean we just went onto that voice synth and just made it say naughty words.
The joys of being a child.
Yes. So, what are your thoughts on this Amiga 500? Have you looked into it much?
I've had a bit of a look at it. It looks like a decent little bit of kit. I believe the keyboard doesn't work, but you'd be hard pressed to use it anyway, given it's so small.
Oh yeah, I've seen a picture of it next to the mouse, and the mouse is pretty much the same size.
Bloody hell.
So I think that keyboard kind of goes into the realm of unusable if it was a
Yeah.
real keyboard. Although,
Well,
in all fairness, the company did that with a C64 Mini a few years ago
yeah.
and brought out a revised version that was full sized called the C64 Maxi, which did have a working keyboard.
Oh, maybe.
So perhaps in a year or two, we might get a A500
Now the
Maxi
question
or
is, will you be able to get it to run Xboot?
X copy.
Xcopy, sorry.
Yeah, but you no, because it's not got a working floppy drive on it.
Well, they just need to stick one of them on.
Although, in all fairness, they have said you can put your own floppy images on through USB.
That is pretty
So
cool.
you could whack on, what was it, Midnight Resistance?
Oh, I loved that game. See, my uncle, who is a big Amiga fan, his Amiga is broken, so I might have to look at one of these for him.
Yeah. I've got two Amigas in the loft, two A500 pluses. One works fine. The other one is actually broken at the minute. I was actually going to put a Raspberry Pi into it. I'd be tempted to get something like this and whack this inside of it. Because you can use a keyboard if you can connect it through USB.
So what you're saying is an Amiga within an Amiga.
Yeah.
Amigaception.
Amigaception. Although, actually, that's something I noticed about this. They do not refer to it as the Amiga.
Don't
So
they?
I don't think they've got the rights to the Amiga name.
Oh, right. Okay, interesting.
Which, after Commodore shut up shop, I wonder if anyone actually knows who owns the Amiga name nowadays. It's just been passed around, sold. The companies that own it have been bought up. So I think they've just gone the safe route, or maybe the cheap route, and just called it the Amiga 500. Sorry, the
The
A500
A500.
Mini. Yes.
We know one person who probably doesn't own it but says he does.
Oh God, yeah, Soldier Boy. When you messaged me this just before the podcast and you said Soldier Boy's at it again, I thought, oh come on, what's he doing now? Is he rebranding another little cheap Chinese console with a million hack NES games on it or something?
No, he owns Atari.
Yeah, he absolutely blew my expectations out the water. He now owns Atari, and he has confirmed this on a live stream. Just it seems that there's a bit of miscommunication though, because Atari aren't aware of this.
Yeah, they've actually had to release a tweet saying, "Yeah,
Yes.
we're not owned by Soldier Boy."
Yeah, the actual tweet was, "We know that CEO of Atari is a dream job, but that honor belongs to Wade Rosen." Now, unless that's Soldier Boy's real name, which I'm pretty certain it isn't, I think
Me
that's
too.
confirmation that someone is maybe telling a few fibs.
Yeah, I mean, what does he hope to gain from
I
saying he
don't
owns
know.
Atari?
I don't know. Maybe he's just been smoking something, and he goes, "Oh, I've got an Atari baseball cap and T-shirt. I now own Atari." I don't know. Maybe he's one of these who thinks that, say, I own Atari because I'm not really that clued up on Atari. You know, it's a name that I vaguely remember. No one talks about it much now, and he thinks that everyone else will be like, "Oh, I don't know who Atari is. Obviously, he owns them." On top of that, though, he's saying that he's selling his Soldier Boy game brand for $140 million.
That's going to be filled with all over legal nightmare.
It's where it turns out he's actually being sued for $140 million from someone like Nintendo.
Well, yeah.
He just saw a piece of paper, saw a Soldier Boy game, and $140 million just didn't read it properly.
But for 140 million, you too can buy a company that specializes in cheap Chinese counterfeit consoles.
Wait, are we on about Atari here, or
No, Soldier Boy.
Atari's definitely not the Atari it used to be anyway. I think they just slap the name on anything they can get away with to sell. You know, just a
Match made in heaven, then.
well, yeah, yeah. Maybe he does then. Maybe Atari and Soldier Boy game are one and the same.
Maybe.
Right. Well, should we get through some of the quicker news items then? Because we have
Yeah,
got an awful lot for this
we
week.
really do.
Right. So, first one, as we've mentioned multiple times, this year is Sonic's 30th anniversary. And to celebrate, he's going to be in another franchise by Sega that's celebrating its 20th anniversary,
Oh, no,
Super Monkey
don't.
Ball.
Super Monkey Ball's 20 years old.
I know, I thought that. I thought, what? I was like, no, it can't be. I had it on the game. Oh, yeah. I had it on the
Oh, wow.
GameCube. Oh, no.
Right, yeah.
Oh, I heard something the other day. Do you know Pac-Man's design? Just going off topic.
Yeah,
Where he's just basically a round circle with a wedge taken out of it.
yeah,
And do you know his new modern design in like Smash Brothers, where he's got arms and legs and
yeah.
little nose popping out? He's actually had that modern design much longer than he ever had the original design. That's how
Oh,
old
what?
Pac-Man is.
No, don't say that. So,
Yeah.
Sonic and Tails into Super Monkey Ball. Come on.
Yes. So let's go back to that. So this is kind of like a crossover for the two anniversaries. So Sonic's 30th anniversary and Super Monkey Ball's 20th. So in Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, you can actually unlock Sonic and Tails as playable characters, and they just run around in the little hamster balls that they do. I
Makes sense.
did like that they replaced all the bananas with gold rings if you're
That's a
playing
nice
as Sonic
touch.
or Tails. So
That
that
is
was
a
quite
nice
nice.
touch.
These are free to unlock. Use in-game currency, and he said it'll take people probably about half an hour to get enough to unlock them.
Well, that's not bad.
Yep. So I thought that was quite nice. Might have to pick it up. There is actually a limited edition version of Super Monkey Ball coming to PlayStation, Switch, Xbox. Comes with like a little art book as well, and that's due for release on the 5th of October.
Oh, that's quite nice.
Yeah, I used to love that game. I actually got it for the Xbox not long ago. And
Yeah, I do remember you quite enjoying it
fantastic.
on the
I
GameCube.
used to love all the little mini games that you had as well. It was a bit like, remember Crazy Taxi where you have all
Yeah.
those weird mini games? As something very similar to that.
All right, fair enough.
Let's swiftly move on before we get sidetracked again.
Yep.
So another one that we've spoken about multiple times, Infinity, the Game Boy Color game that's been cancelled and resurrected by the developers 20 years later, has actually gone on to Kickstarter about 3 days ago,
Right.
smashed right through its target. In its first day, they asked for £9,200 ish.
Yeah.
They smashed right through that, £70,000 on the first day.
Jeez.
And currently they're on about 112,000.
Well, there's obviously a real demand then for this.
Yeah. It looks like it's a good game. You can pick up a physical copy, which would be about £51.
It's a lot for a Game Boy game.
If you just want to play it, they're selling the ROM as one of the Kickstarter rewards, and you can get that for as little as £7.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah. So that's due for release in 2022, and I'm sure when it gets released, I'll give it a go.
Yep. Well, especially for that little £7, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That especially on my Steam Deck, I can take it with me.
Well, that's very true. It's very,
My
very true.
Steam Deck is not going to have any games from like 2000s or beyond on it. It's just
It's
going to
really
be
not.
retro. Talking about retro games, as well, we do on the podcast a lot. Have you seen the best way to play your PlayStation 1 titles on your TV at home?
I've not, no.
How about playing them in 4K with improved frame rates? Even an option to get rid of that weird texture warping it had.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, playing your games on your new PlayStation 5, that sounds amazing. Well, tough you can't. However, if you've got an Xbox Series X or S, a new emulator called DuckStation allows you to do all this and apparently runs amazingly.
I'd take it you'd need to get the ISOs on there. It wouldn't be able to run the discs.
No, I believe it is running them from disk images, not actual discs themselves.
Still, it's
That'd be
interesting.
cool. But for a start, the Series S doesn't have a disk drive anyway, so
Well, yeah, fair point actually.
yeah.
Just because for £12.
You've just held up Final Fantasy VII. How many discs are in there? Is it 3 or 4?
Well, there's just one of 3.
Right, 1 of 3. That's fine. That's fine. I could have sworn that there was 4 discs,
No, 3 discs.
and I've only got 3, and I thought it was missing a disc, like maybe if it was a demo disc or something. So, would you pick that up then?
I've had it ages.
Oh, right. It's
Literally,
not a modern
literally.
pickup.
No, I've had this since I owned a PlayStation 1.
Right. See, I've got the Platinum, I think it was called, Platinum version of that, and I've got Final Fantasy VIII.
The other one I've got, which I did pick up as a fairly recent thing, picked it up in a charity shop.
Resident Evil 2 is that?
Yep. Even still got the original stickers on there.
Well, if you did want to play these, emulated of course, you could play them in 4K on your Series X.
I might actually have to look at that one because that is a pretty cool.
Yeah, there is a slight caveat with it that you
Right,
do need to put your Xbox into developer mode to be able to
right.
install this. It's pretty simple. You can just go onto the store and pay to have your console enrolled into it, which is currently about £12. And you can revert it. It's not like a permanent thing.
Okay,
When the console is in development mode, though, you can't play Xbox games.
right.
So if you want to play your games, you need to tell it,
You need
I
to
want to be in
swap around.
standard mode,
Yeah.
and it'll restart back into it for you. But yeah, anyone who's got a Xbox One, One S or One X can also do this, although probably won't be hitting that 4K rendering.
No,
And
probably.
in fact, it can render the games in up to 8K internally.
Wow.
You can get it really, really sharp. I think that's something like 18 times the original resolution of the PlayStation.
When the Xbox runs PlayStation games better than the PlayStation.
When the Xbox runs PlayStation 1 games and the PlayStation 5 doesn't.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Absolutely insane. But no, I'm pretty interested in this. I might give it a shot.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty cool idea.
Yeah. Just really quickly while we're on about consoles that play old games, Polymega has actually announced that they will start shipping pre-orders
Yeah,
this September.
it's amazing. It's still a
Well, in all
ridiculously
fairness, I'm
expensive
sure they
console though.
said this last July, last October, this April. So I haven't pre-ordered.
Well, this was one that
It's
you was quite interested in initially, wasn't you?
This is one I was really excited for.
Didn't you end up getting banned from their Facebook page?
Um, Asked not to come back. We'll say I was asked not to come back. In all fairness, what I also was saying is it was ridiculous that the price we paid over here in the UK compared to what the price was elsewhere, even in Europe.
Yeah,
It's
well,
only
yeah,
it's,
it is ridiculous.
yeah. You could buy a brand new current gen console
Well, it's more
if you could
expensive
find them in
than a
stock,
Series S.
and it'd be cheaper.
It'd be cheaper to buy a Series S.
Yeah, it absolutely would. So you can actually pre-order them now through their website. You're not forced to do it through Amazon. They've actually disappeared off Amazon last time I checked.
Right.
It's going to cost about £379 for the base unit, which
Oof.
is cheaper than what was quoted on Amazon, which I believe was about £449.
Still, that's a lot.
That's
Considering,
not including any of the extra modules. It's able to play disc-based games at that point.
yeah,
Saturn, PlayStation, Neo Geo, CD, and Mega CD, and there's another one that I'm forgetting. I think it's TurboGrafx CD.
right.
So not great, but it's not the end of the world. However, if you pre-order now, it's likely to be around mid 2022. You'll get your order. So quite a
Yeah,
distance out.
especially considering they were supposed to be shipping like a year or two ago.
Yeah, well, I don't even know when the first time they said it would be shipping was. Playmargy has actually said as well the cost of components is rising, so pre-order now because the price will likely go up in the future.
For what is already an expensive console.
I don't want this to fail, but it's priced me out.
Yeah,
I couldn't justify supporting this.
it is. Yeah, it's too expensive for what it is.
It is. Absolutely. If it was £400 and it got you at least 2 of the modules, that I could understand because it's a niche product. It's not
Yeah,
going to be mass produced like your Xbox, PlayStation. But it's just far too much. They have announced that they are bringing a virtual console style service to the system as well. So
Right.
you'll be able to buy digital games and download them onto the system. I think most people who are getting this console probably want to play the physical games.
Yeah.
I certainly don't think Nintendo games are going to be on here, but
No.
if they wanted to pay to download, say, Mario, they're either going to do that on a more modern console or they're just going to go and download the ROM and play it on a PC or a laptop.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. I say it's priced me out. That price, 379, I don't even know if that includes import tax, so it might be more expensive on top of that. It does include shipping though. I hope it doesn't fail, and I hope there is maybe a cheaper version too, or if they can start producing it in higher quantities, maybe reduce the price of the actual modules that you get to play your Mega Drive or your SNES games and that. I just don't know. I just don't know how I feel
I
about
think
it
time's going to tell with
overall.
this one, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we'll find out in a month or two, see if they actually did ship the pre-orders. Because the ones that they sent out a while ago to reviewers, overall, it was pretty well praised.
Yeah.
I would love something like this to play my Saturn games.
Well, yeah, Saturn games they're a difficult one to play.
Yeah, but I have a PC that costs less than this, and it can play them.
Yeah.
It's ISOs. Sorry, it's disk images that it's playing. It's not the original games, but overall, no wear on it. I use a wireless controller. Can connect it to a big monitor or a TV. It can do a lot more as well.
Yeah.
Right. Well, let's move on from there anyway. Another series that's getting a new title that you're quite interested in, though.
Yeah, I saw this one when you popped it up here, the Castlevania Grimoire of Souls in Apple
Yeah,
Arcade. I might have to subscribe. They've been teasing us with 3 months free, and when this launches, I might be very tempted.
I must admit, I took a subscription to Apple One. I have never used Apple Arcade. It's available to me, but it's just something I've never used.
That's fair. This though is the sort of game that I would play even if I didn't play anything else on there. Which, if I get
Yeah,
a trial for it,
the
might be
thing
worth
is,
it for
though,
that.
so I just don't feel there's a good way to control games on iPhone. And if I'm playing a game on my iPad, it's not very ergonomic. If I'm using an Xbox controller and then I've got an iPad, say, stood up on my desk, I'm arching my neck down,
Yeah,
looking at it. It's not the most comfortable way to play a game.
there is that. There is that. See, I've got a clip that attaches to my controller that makes it a lot better, so that my iPhone can actually clip on, and it's effectively like playing a handheld console.
Yeah, I've got one of them as well, and I think I used it precisely once.
Fair enough.
That was more because it scuffed me controller. To be honest, thought nope, not doing that again.
I can believe that.
I'll give it a go when it comes out. So it's due for release.
Doesn't actually have a release date on there, does it?
We haven't got a release date yet, but it has previously had like a soft launch. I think it was 2019 in Canada,
Yeah,
but it was removed sometime after that point, and it's now become an Apple Arcade exclusive. So, from what I understand from the trailer, you start the game as Alucard, but you can actually unlock other characters as you go through.
yeah. You see, that sounds quite interesting because Castlevania has a wide range of interesting characters that have been player characters throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, there's that guy with a whip, there's the guy with the whip, there's the guy with the whip, there's the guy with the chain that he uses like a whip.
Yeah, okay, you've got the Belmonts.
It looks quite good, and
No,
the
you've
good
got
thing is
others
because it is an Apple Arcade title, there won't be any in-game purchases. So the unlockable characters will be
unlocked in the game.
whether or not you have an in-game currency, do you know, as you play
Yeah,
through, or you unlock them at certain points in the story. They announced 4 additional characters and 60 stages.
that's quite nice.
So curious how long some of those stages would be.
I have a feeling it's probably going to be very similar to the Castlevania HD Harmony of Dissidence.
Yes, I got a lot of vibes from that when I saw, especially the character selections as well.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be something akin to that. Maybe not the
Yeah.
multiplayer aspect of it, but um, you've got individual stages that are based on areas from within a Castlevania game.
Yeah, or even entire games within like one stage, isn't it?
Well, yeah,
I actually quite enjoyed that game,
I did as
although
well.
I played a lot of Charlotte, and it was very grindy. Going, nope, didn't get the spell. Nope, didn't get the spell. Nope,
Yeah,
didn't get the spell.
Charlotte was a pain. I used Charlotte quite a bit as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a pain. So they were all a bit grindy to level up, though, to be fair.
Well, yeah, that's a fair point. But I just felt like she was very much down to the RNG gods, whether or not you will get
It's true.
a new spell and level up.
Yeah, that's true.
And as we all know, RNG gods hate me. So,
And
but
that's
no,
why I
if
play StarCraft
anyone's
with you.
interested in that, when it finally comes out, it'll be available on Apple Arcade, which is $4.99 a month or £49 per year.
Speaking of subscription services, Quake. Not only is it coming to consoles, it is coming to Game Pass.
Yeah, Quake 1, 2, and 3 is coming to Game Pass on PC, and the original Quake's coming to Xbox.
Yeah, I am looking forward to this.
I was just scrolling through the list the other day and just went, Quake?
Well, I
When
did.
did that come? I actually saw
Yeah,
it on the store before I actually heard that it had been announced.
I just spotted an advert saying Quake 1, 2, and 3 coming to Game Pass, and I was like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
Hello?
I actually downloaded Quake. I've not had a chance to play it, but I downloaded it last
Oh, is
night.
it on there now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I saw it on the store as a game to download before I actually saw that you could download it, if you get what I mean. I did see
I'm
an announcement for it.
I am not currently on my Game Pass looking at my games to go and install Quake.
I was going to say, why did your screen just shift then? I could see a little light on your face.
I'm not installing Quake right now. That is not what's happening.
60 frames per second on all systems, brand new lighting engine, full 9-inch nail soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
It looks like it runs so smooth. Even on the Switch, they've targeted 60 frames per second.
Well, I mean, I don't see why it shouldn't, especially Quake 1 and 2, because
Yeah,
these are games from the 90s.
I know, but the fast paced games, you want them at 60 frames per second, don't you?
And when we broke this news to Anthony, what was his first reaction? Oh yeah, let's play a little bit of multiplayer Doom. It's like, no, this isn't Doom. This is Quake.
Yeah, Quake, the first fully 3D first person shooter.
Quake, I believe, may have been one of, if not the first, mouse-based shooters as well, where you could use the mouse.
I don't know, I'm sure we've had this conversation in the past, and I thought this was Marathon.
Oh, it was Marathon. It was Marathon. Yeah, yeah, you're
Was
right.
it?
It was
Was it?
Marathon. Yeah, and Quake
I
was an
do
early one.
remember playing Quake on your old PC, your Pentium PC.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh no, what? They expect you to look up and down as well. Coming
you've got to
from
look in
Doom and Gloom on the
every
Amiga.
direction.
It's like, what? I said, that's not fair. I couldn't see the thing flying in the air shooting at me or the guy below me throwing stuff up.
With such classic weapons as the nail gun and the super nail
Yeah,
gun.
the perforator and the super perforator. No, that was
Oh,
a good game. That was a really good game. So I'd be interested to go back to it. I actually did play Quake last year on the Sega Saturn.
hey, I wonder if I've still got my Malice expansion anywhere.
I was about to say, I hope they bring Malice to it.
Well, it wasn't an official expansion.
Wasn't it?
No, it was
See,
like
this was the kind of time when you could get expansions that were made by someone just made them and they'd end up
yeah,
in like Electronics Boutique, or
yeah. Diablo Hellfire was not an official expansion.
was it not?
No, it was made by Sierra Online.
Yeah, but was it not official?
No, well, I mean, it might have been official, but it wasn't.
Like licensed?
I think it was licensed. Yeah,
Right, right. I believe this has got 2 new episodes. One of
interesting.
them is exclusive for this release as well.
Nice.
So there's a lot, and it's got local and online co-op and deathmatch.
So what you're saying is it's got local and online deathmatch.
Yeah, you can have deathmatch against other people or deathmatch in the single player story. It's up to
Yeah.
you where you want to kill each other. Um,
You do realize this is something that we're going to have to do at some point.
yeah, but no, yeah, it just came out of nowhere, and it's coming to a physical release as well through limited run games.
That's, I mean, considering the game came out in what, 92, I want to say?
No, it's much later than that. Surely it
Was
was
it?
about 96.
Yeah, you might be right, actually.
Right, give me a second. Let's have a look.
5 minutes later.
22nd of June, 1996.
A good memory, 96.
I only remember it because I'm sure we were in high school. And don't forget that was about the time when we got PCs. Like,
Well,
oh,
yeah, that's
state of the
true. Yeah,
art, Windows 95. Way.
but yeah, Christ,
Yeah,
yeah, Windows 95 on those things. Because I had Doom, Wolfenstein 3D, and Quake.
yeah. Well, you only had Quake shareware version at first, didn't you?
At first, yeah,
Because I remember getting that from you,
yeah, no,
and I didn't realize it was. I thought when you get to the end of the first set of areas and you kill, is it like a big demon in a lava pit,
I
and you lower the
think so.
electric fence or something down on it?
I vaguely recall that.
I
Yeah,
thought that was the end of the game,
no,
and it
it's like
was
the
only a
first
few
first
years
open.
later when I played
Yeah,
the rest of it. It was like, oh, what? There's more.
like because with Doom, because
It's
I'm pretty sure
not
it was
all
a
set
show
in
version of
like
Doom I
some
had.
sort of grim Cthulhu-inspired castle.
What was it? More dark gothic, wasn't it? Wasn't it the Cthulhu?
Yeah, that's kind of what the first set of stages reminded me of.
Mm,
And then some of the later ones are more like spacey, modern, and I can't remember what the third one was. And then Quake 2 was just entirely sci-fi.
yeah, well, Quake 2 is still a brilliant game.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I think you can get the ray traced version of that for free at the moment through Good
Really?
Old Games.
Wow. Okay.
I haven't got a computer that can do ray tracing, like, but I
Yeah,
might pick it up for maybe in about 20 years when I do finally get a graphics card capable of it.
I'm pretty sure my RX 480 would fall over if I tried to run something with ray tracing.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the hardware in to
No,
do
it
ray
doesn't.
tracing. So unless they've got some sort of software implementation of it, which is possible, but as you say, you probably set your PC on fire.
It's very true.
Yeah. So, well, I say that's all the quick news out the way. It's taken us at the moment 35 minutes
Yeah, I think
to
we'll
get
probably
to this
just
point.
run through the large amount of Pokemon news that we've got.
Oh yeah, where's Anthony when you need him?
I know. It's
So,
we talk about Gundam episodes, Gundams. He's not here. We talk about Pokemon. He's not here.
right. Well, let's make sure we don't mispronounce anything so he doesn't whinge again.
Or we mispronounce it on purpose.
Yeah. Really quickly, the ones that I'm not in all fairness, actually, I'm definitely a Gen 1er. Love Pokemon Gen 1. After that, I fell off so quickly on Pokemon, but I could go
Yeah,
back and play Red and Blue again.
Gold and Silver was pretty good as well.
Yeah, I did complete Gold and Silver, but I enjoyed Red and Blue a lot
Yeah,
more. Like I can still now, 20 odd years later, name every single Pokemon from the original 151. I probably couldn't tell you much more than about 10 of the ones that were introduced in Gold and Silver.
nope, neither could
I remember Togepi. I can't even remember what the starters were.
I. There was a
Togepi,
fire one.
Pichu.
There
Yeah,
was
there's
a
a fire.
water one.
There's a fire that leaves the water.
Now, didn't you have the fire alligator thing? Or was it the water alligator thing? There was a fire hedgehog.
I really can't remember. No, it
It was
was
a fire hedgehog.
Cyndaquil. Was it Cyndaquil?
Yeah, there you go. See, and then
That's it.
there was
I'm done.
the
I managed to
no, the
remember three of them.
penguin, the water penguin.
What's penguin?
Was it what? You know what? We're going to be on this. We've got sidetracked. Right.
Yeah,
What's coming
anyway.
up? Pokemon.
Right. So let's get all the mobile ones out the way. The ones that I'm least interested in. Some of them I didn't even know existed, in all fairness. So Pokemon Unite was announced for Nintendo Switch. That is coming to mobile on the 22nd of September.
Okay.
Nintendo
Never heard
have
of it.
announced that you will be able to carry progress across between mobile and Switch.
That's good.
Yep, that's very progressive for Nintendo.
It really is.
So available on iOS and Android. And if you log in before the 31st of August on the Switch, you will receive Unite license. See, this is where I'm going to start pronouncing them wrong. Zeraora,
Can we right?
maybe?
Maybe.
Oh, I don't know. I don't even know what that is. And I call myself a gamer. God, get him
Shocking.
off the air. Um, but yeah, so a little bonus if you're logging on the Switch, but you can start playing it on mobile from 22nd of September.
Yep. We've got Pokemon Cafe Mix getting an update. It's a free to start puzzle game. It's on mobiles. Renamed to Pokemon Cafe Mix. Remix.
Yes, so they're bringing new features to the game, new puzzles, new Pokemon, and it's getting I thought it was quite a cute way to to say it's the new version of the game. So it's getting a rebrand into Pokemon Cafe Remix.
Yeah, that's fair. So that's going to be
Yeah.
available this autumn, isn't it?
Yes, that's coming in autumn. So next one, Pokemon Masters EX. So second anniversary. I didn't even know this game existed, let
Yeah,
alone its second anniversary.
I've not heard of the previous two either.
So they're adding some new features, including Dynamaxing. There's a couple of the older legendary events are coming back, so you'll get a second chance at them. To celebrate the second anniversary, you can actually scout up to 100 sync pairs. So from what I understand, you can get like a partner. So I've seen people using like Gary from the original Pokemon or people that aren't from the original Pokemon, I don't know. um, so I believe that's you can actually get up to 10 pairs per day, I think it is.
Right.
Definitely do not hold me on this thing. And if you log in now, you get 3,000 gems, and a new story arc will start in September.
Woo. Pokemon Go, its 5th anniversary.
Yeah.
No way Pokemon Go's been going for 5 years. So Pokemon from the Galar region are going to make an appearance from the 20th of August through to the 31st of August. So get walking and going to your parks and jumping
Yeah,
into
but
people's
no
gardens.
trespassing. And definitely no playing it while you're driving.
Oh God, I cannot believe people actually did that.
Yeah. Well, going on to more Pokemon news that I'm going to be interested in. So, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shimmering Pearl. It's been 15 years since this came out on the DS.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, for those that don't know, originally on DS, Brilliant Diamond, Shimmer and Pearl is bringing it up to modern standards, and it's coming 19th of November. There is also a very, very nice looking Nintendo Switch Lite that's available, a special limited edition one.
Yeah,
I
that's a nice
really
colour
like the
scheme.
colouring of this one.
Yeah, it looks nice.
It's like a gunmetal with black buttons, because the grey Nintendo Switch Lite, it's grey and it's got white buttons. The white buttons just look wrong.
Yeah. The other problem is it's a Switch Lite.
I don't mind. I play most of the Switch game on Switch Lite, although it's Kerry's. It's a lovely greeny, turquoisey, tealy, bluey. I don't know what color it is. It's not the color I would have picked. Mine was yellow.
That's fair.
Really nice looking limited edition Switch console, but really should they have bothered with this one and just maybe done a limited edition OLED?
Maybe.
I personally would have probably made the OLED the limited edition one. So, anyway, the new game, it's got a key story from the original one. It's got a new art style, which a lot of people are pretty split over. So, it reminds me a lot of Final Fantasy VII, actually, going back to it, mention it there.
Yeah.
In the overworld, you're these little chibi characters, and I must admit, they look really nice. And then in a battle, it's the more anime proportioned ones.
Right.
So they both look good. I'm not sure about having the two styles within the same game, though. Plus, more modern Pokemon games have been going more towards a slightly more realistic proportion
They have,
character
yeah.
in the overworld. So, like Sun, Moon, let's go Pikachu and Eevee. I don't know. I like the art style. I just don't know if it's the right one, though.
But when you
And
think
it's
about it, the original Pokemon games, they did have that. You kind of had, when you was on the overworld, you had kind of like a squat, chibi-ish style character on the Game Boy, obviously.
yeah, and that was down to the limitation. Well, even on
Yeah.
the DS, you still
Well,
had
yeah.
that style.
And then when you went into the battles, it switched, and the actual art style was a more realistically proportioned character.
Yeah.
Throw in the limited frames that you had, throw in the Pokeball popping out.
What you mean,
Away
just
you go.
sliding on? A Pokemon comes flying out of them and then they slide back off.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the reason they've done this is they want to keep the same design as the original game. It's just some people just don't like it. I think they just want it to be a bit more consistent. Not
Yeah.
even within the same game, but just with modern Pokemon games that have come out.
I get the reasoning behind it, though. Speaking of modern Pokemon, we've got Pokemon Legends Arceus?
I think it's Arceus.
Arceus. coming
I
out
don't know.
in 2022, I believe this is slated for release for.
Yeah, that's January. This is coming out right at the beginning of the year.
Interesting release time.
So you're only going to have 2-3 months between Brilliant Diamond, Shimmer, and Pearl coming out, and then a brand new Pokemon game. And this isn't following the formula that most other mainline Pokemon games are
Yeah,
following.
it's really not. It's more of an open world and everything, isn't it?
Yeah, in this game, the trainer can actually be attacked by Pokemon if they're not careful.
Wow.
So this is going to be something of a origin story to the Pokemon series. So you're part of the Galaxy team, which is, from the impression I got, kind of like a multinational group. And part of that group is the Survey Corps, which you're a member of. So you're going out surveying the Pokemon, looking at them in the environments, finding more out about them. Because at this point in the Pokemon history, people don't catch Pokemon. They don't use it for battling. They don't use them for helpers or carers like they do in the more modern Pokemon titles. So it's up to you to get out there, see what's friendly, see what's not, try not to be eaten. So it's an open world game as well. So you see Pokemon roaming around the countryside. And in a weird twist, you get to be the one that hides in the grass and attacks them.
A wild trainer attacks.
Yeah, yeah. While Trainer appeared. It looks not massively different from the core premise, but the implementation looks a
Yeah.
lot better.
Though I've noticed online this is getting a little bit of flack because the initial images, the open world graphics haven't been amazing. It's been compared to PlayStation 2 games.
Yeah. In its original announcement, it looked very plain. The frame rate looked pretty bad. More modern trailers have looked a lot better, but even on the same system, they're still not up to the level of games like Xenoblade
Breath of the Wild.
2. Do you know what? Breath of the Wild, I think, is a pretty plain looking game.
I know, but the scope of that world, when
Yeah,
you
but
actually stop and
this
look at
is
it,
this is meant to be a really large scope on this as well.
mm,
Xenoblade, that's a massive open world, and that looks absolutely amazing. The only thing that lets that down is the Switch just isn't powerful enough and has to drop that resolution, and it
yeah,
can get a little bit blurry most of the time. But do you know what? I might actually pick this up.
okay,
I've not really played a Pokemon game with the same sort of intensity that I did Red and Yellow back
yeah.
in the 90s. I think the last Pokemon game I probably completed was X and Y, and I just kind of got to the end. It unlocked the endgame stuff, and I don't even think I finished that. But for anyone who wants to pick this up, it is available start of the year, January, and I say it looks interesting, especially if you're just into RPGs.
Something has just dawned on me.
Go on.
It's almost 2022. I'm thinking it's like a whole year away. What are you? Wait a minute.
What are you on about? Christmas is only, what, 4 months away?
This is what's just dawned on me. It's like, wait a minute. No, actually, we're in 2021, and we're
Yeah.
almost at the end of August.
Well, do you want to know what's really scary as well? I was thinking not gaming related. Elliot starts primary school next year.
2 more years, and my son's in high school.
Oh, God.
Yeah, enjoy that one. He starts in year 3.
Wait, what?
No, year
So he's
4.
so he's 9?
He's 9 in December.
I thought he was like 7.
No, 9 in December.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well, that's what I've been doing today. Actually, I've just taken down Elliot's cot, which is like a cot bed, and he's just got a proper big boy bed. By big boy, I mean it's Lego.
Wait, by big boy, you mean you want it?
Yeah. Oh no, that's shocking though. I honestly thought he was only about 7.
Nope, 9 in December.
Oh God.
Yeah,
It only seems like 2 years ago you were dropping him off at ours, and he was running around like pooing everywhere.
that probably was only about 2 years ago. To be fair, nah, that
Oh,
was yeah,
that would have been about
5.
2016. Yeah, so
Yeah,
about 4 or 5 years.
yeah, about
Holy
5 years ago. Yeah. So yeah,
God.
with all this bombshell news that time moves on far too quickly,
Yeah, yeah.
we are at the end of our episode, but we just want to mention that. So we're going to a fortnightly release schedule. That means there'll only be 2 episodes each month. There's no episode next week, but there will be our Alex the Kid Retro Game Club episode the following week.
Did you just say Alex the Kid?
I did just say Alex the Kid.
Oh.
Alex Kid. Sorry.
No,
Alex Kid.
That's it. We're cancelling the podcast if we can't even get his name right.
Didn't you get his name wrong first?
Yeah, I actually got his name wrong. In my head, I'm just thinking, Alex Kid, Alex Kid, Alex Kid. Don't say the Alex Kid. And I go, so we're playing Alex the Kid. I'm like, oh, why'd you say that?
So yes, we're playing Alex Kidd in our Retro Gaming Club episode, and that's in 2 weeks' time.
Yes. So the format that we're going to look for the next episode is we're going to do our normal Retro Game Club. So we're all playing through Alex Kidd in Miracle World, and we're going to have a little bit of a look at the history of Alex Kidd as a character, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we're going to have a look at the rise and ultimate fall of Alex Kidd, all the way from him being Sega's sweetheart, the mascot of the company, and then the introduction of a certain blue hedgehog, and how he's pretty much been left by the wayside, not including the recent Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX. I think his last game was in like 1990 or somewhere around there on the Sega Mega Drive.
Before we go too deep into that, that's a story for in 2 weeks' time.
Well, yeah, we'll be looking into that. So don't worry if you don't see us next week. We haven't all decided that we're going on holiday at the same time. Just Anthony.
Wouldn't put it past him.
So once again, thanks for listening. If you'd like to see any more information about anything that was mentioned in this week's episode, you can do by visiting our website and viewing the full show notes. Also, if you'd like to support the podcast, you can do through Patreon, where you'll get episodes ad-free and earlier than normal. Alternatively, you could leave us a review. That would be absolutely amazing, and we would really appreciate it.
That's it for this week's episode. We'll see you in a fortnight.